My name is Mackenzie James for those of you who don't know us. But I am the Maid of Honor. So, um, my speech. Kaden. Okay, where to begin? For those of you who don't know, I am Kaden's best friend, and I have known her since we were like 2 or 3 years old. And so, given that we have known each other so long, I have lots of stories that I could go into, but I won't bore you with the stories of basically our whole lives. So, um, anyone who has met Kaden knows that she loves to laugh, and in fact, she loves to laugh even at the most inappropriate of times, which we got in trouble for laughing during church a lot growing up whenever we would sit next to each other. Um, But Kaden is amazing, yet she does have a few flaws. For example, she cannot order for herself at any restaurant ever to save her life. There have been multiple times where someone else has had to order for her pretty much every time. Um, and there have been many stories that have come out of that. For example, for example, even through drive-throughs, she cannot order for herself unless she is by herself, and even then, I think it's still a struggle. But one time, Kaden and I decided to go get food, and we decided to go to Cane's. And before we went through the drive-through, we were in her car, and we parked, and we switched drivers. And I got in the driver's seat so I could drive her car, and we went through the drive-through and everything was going smooth except for it had just rained. I mean snowed. It had rained and snowed. The rain had turned into ice and it had also just snowed. So, the ground was slippery, and the way that the building was situated, the shade was where the drive-through was, so none of it had melted for it to be less slick like the roads were. And Katie and I, we get to the first window and we order our food and everything's going fine. We get to the second window and we pay, and again everything's going fine. But then to get to the last window to where we would get our food, Caden's car gets stuck in the snow. And I'm the one driving her car, and so I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I don't want to slip into the building or run into another car. And so Caden's next to me, dying laughing as always, and I'm trying to get the car to go forward, and we can also see the people at the next window with our food sticking their head out the window and laughing at us because we could not get the car out of the snow. So, I don't remember what happened, but eventually we got it, and we go up and we get our food, and we know that they've been laughing at us, and we've been laughing at ourselves. So, we just take our food and say thank you and move on and die laughing in the parking lot. And that's one of my favorite memories together. And again, there are a million more. But along with the funny stories, we have also walked through a lot of hard times together, and we've walked through the transition of living overseas to then living in America and all the different hardships that come with that. Kaden was also in a poor relationship that just caused a lot of hardships, and since that day, I've been praying that she would find someone who would love her, help her heal, and embrace all of who she is. So, Tanner, fun fact about him, is he was my brother's college roommate. And before I ever met him, I made fun of him because I heard that he played tennis and his name was Tanner. So I just assumed that he was going to be this preppy kid. And so that was my impression based off of his name and the one fact I knew about him. And that's not true, but that was my first impression, just FYI for all those who didn't know. Um, but I didn't know him well, but I know that he is a great match for Kaden, and he listens to her and encourages her and sees her through all that he does. And through Kay and I's many conversations, as well as getting the pleasure to see them be in a relationship together, it has been a joy getting to see them draw closer to the Lord, as well as just have fun together in their relationship as they walk through the highs and lows of school, as well as just whatever brings whatever the hardships come in a relationship, that they've just grown together through that and always rely on the Lord. And cheers to the happy couple.